that's that. Now let's talk about what is more important, how a man treats you or what he does for a living. So as we said, Ebony K. Williams, she made headlines. She was conducting an interview with Ayanla. I always say her name wrong.
It's tough.
Yeah, I've been trying. I used to just say Ayana Fix My Life.
You did it good though.
Thank you. So yeah, there's a show called Holding Court on the Griot. And this is what happened.
When we talk, and I know that you've said you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build. When some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's the problem, because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing the games all day. I'm not talking about that. Standards and the criteria that we to measure is off for who they are. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of it, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus.
What do you think? Was you?
Would I date a bus driver?
And before you answer, let me just say this. I think black women especially are extra penalized when we dare to have any kind of standards and say, I want a guy that does this, does that, makes this kind of money. White women are raised to go for the lawyers and the doctors. No one says a thing. When a black woman says something like that, we're instantly gold diggers, we're lazy, we're taking advantage, we're putting the black man down, and I don't think that's fair at all. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't think about what somebody does when I think about a relationship with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I do think about how they treat me. What was more important to me is how many, hopefully they ain't got no damn kids.
But you don't know that when you first meet them.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're going to treat you. So so you meet someone like listen, I remember being in LA, and as soon as a guy told me he was a personal trainer and like a struggling actor, I was turned off.
Yeah.
Because I knew I didn't want that for my life, nor do I want to make you feel a kind of way. And I don't know if that was a fair question, because Ebony was talking about leadership.
Yeah, I don't know, because that was just, I do feel like it was out of nowhere, and I also understood what she was saying. Like, so me personally, I couldn't date anybody that does one thing. And what I mean by that is like, no one anything. No, just doctoring and that's it. Just like, I like people with drive that like to do shit. Oh, sorry. Damn it.
There you go. Pile on.
That like to do stuff. You know, I move around a lot. So bus driver, to me, I'm thinking if she's like a bus driver, I'm just thinking that's what he does. He comes home and then that's it. Mm-hmm. But now if you a bus driver and you got this hustle, that hustle, because why is it fair that I get up, I got a 9 to 5 my damn self, so I can't even talk about somebody I got a 9 to 5. I get up, do radio. Then I also have 2 additional shows. I had 3. I had to get rid of one because it was too much. They're in different states. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I have other hustles too. So why do I have to, or why would I settle for somebody that's content with just doing one thing? And no, like, things are expensive nowadays. I like to travel. I like to move around.
So do you think Ebony's being unfairly dragged?
I do feel like she's being unfairly dragged. And I think, like you said, a man could say his preference in any kind of way. Look, Lil Wayne started off a song, I like him long hair, thick, red bone. That's cool for him to be able to like it, but if Danny Lay said yellow bone is what he want, let's beat her up and kill her. And it's like, wait a minute though. Lil Wayne said he wanted red bone, and she said it too, and now, like, I don't understand.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. Some black women are not allowed to have a preference publicly.
No, you can't even say nothing. You can't even have a voice.
No, you can't. And they're going to find something wrong with it from any angle. If you say you like the color red, why don't you like blue? The blue community is going to be mad at you.
Yeah.
Oh, you must have a thing against blue. No, I don't think when you hear what Ebony was talking about before Ayanla asked that out of the blue question, it feels like a gotcha moment. Like she was like, let me go ahead and let me get her.
Let me get her, because what did that have to do with anything? They were talking about roles as men and women and relationships and in society. And then even for Ayanla to say, well, it's unfair for the standards and where we are. What are you talking about? She's an accomplished lawyer. She's a news correspondent. She's done, what was she?
She's very successful.
She's extremely successful. She's on Housewives
An
now.
author.
So many different things. So what standards are you talking about? Her, like, she met a high standard, so she should be able to want what she brings to the table as well. Where's the damn problem?
It should be a problem. And then the narrative changed to she was dragging blue collar people, which I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear her say anything about, and first of all, she said, if he owns the bus. Let me tell you something. Some owners of the company broke it into people that's working there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because they trying to pay everybody else. They're trying to pay. That don't equal to money just because you own something.
Now,
either.
if she went in and said negative things about bus drivers, then I would be like, okay, that was wrong.
I was about to say she did.
But she did not. No, I'm saying
No.
if she did, but I didn't hear her say that.
No.
And I'm like, am I missing something? Then people went to, well, it's her tone. It's the way she said it. Listen, an intelligent, articulate woman is always going to be a threat to someone. And people are going to find fault. Oh, she seems like she's coming off like a bitch. Oh, she seems like she thinks she's better.
She never even said no, though. That's the crazier part. She said, would you date a bus driver? She said, if he owned the bus.
So he could still be a bus driver, but he owns it.
So her answer was yes.
Right. If he owned it. What's wrong with that?
She
What's wrong with
yes.
Listen, I've been in relationships with actually my longest relationships were with blue collar men. And they were amazing, great people that I definitely felt cherished me. 1,000%. But they also had drive to want to do something else. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm doing this now and I want to get here. And I was like, I can support that. But if you just take a job where you're like, this is going to be me and I'm going to retire doing this for the rest of my life, no shade to you, but I want something different for myself.
I don't even want to be around a friend like that. Forget a guy. Like, I don't want to be around nobody that's comfortable and content with just doing this. Moving at one like, no, you got to elevate your life. And if you're just, then that's going to make me be like that. You know what I mean?
No, it's dope being around, the energy around being people. I got this going on. I got this. I'm doing, oh, me too. Oh, maybe we can connect and link. And let me tell you something. The man that has the regular 9 to 5 that wants to stay there, that doesn't aspire to do anything else. Not saying that every bus driver is, because there's plenty of people that are doing this for now until they get to the next level.
That's
and they
fine.
should be commended as well. I love someone that will sacrifice for a few years to get to where they want to go. And I don't think she shat on them. I don't. I just think the narrative, everyone kind of jumped on and piled on this woman that a month ago, y'all was loving her when she was guest hosting on The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she's this evil woman. And I don't think that's right. I don't think she should be the face of putting down black men that drive buses, because she didn't do that.
They do that all the time. When even like, okay, obviously we could go back to the Michael B. Jordan situation. If I really did think that man was corny, what the hell is the problem? Like,
Right.
say I did say it.
No, you can't.
And?
No, you can't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I think.
Right.
Like, I think this person's ugly. I think this is that's me. But it's crazy because other people say it. I've heard people say people are corny every day, and nobody don't say nothing to them. But me, we wanted to, bully this, da, 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 da. That's what they did that's what they're doing to Ebony right now. So I hate jumping on any of those trains where it's like, the hate train, because I don't see nothing that she said wrong. If she don't want to date no damn bus driver, then she don't want to date no bus driver, the end. Some people don't like short guys. Some people don't like fat girls. Some people don't like I don't understand. That's their preference.
And they should be able to have them. But like I said, some black women are not allowed to have a preference and not allowed to say it out loud.
It's crazy.
Because you're villainized for it. And I don't think it's right. Like I said, I was saying about the blue collar thing. I dated two. Well, actually more than that. More than that. And the difference is being content with where you are or wanting more. And there's nothing wrong with someone else that wants more, because let me tell you something. One of the guys said to me, when like things got really popping for me, how uncomfortable it made him feel because he felt less than a man because he was stuck in his place.
You see?
And it made it a very uncomfortable relationship, because he said to me, you're pouring into me, but I feel like I can bring nothing into your life. And I thought that was so sad, because I still loved him. I was like, but I still think I see value in you in other ways. But him as a man didn't feel it. And let me tell you something. Those relationships do not work. You will stop fighting over stupid stuff. If you put a little bit of oomph in your voice, he's going to think you're trying to emasculate him. You're going to have a bunch of problems because he's not content.
And not just that, it's difficult for like the most secure man would feel a way with their woman being in the entertainment industry around all these rich men who are probably shooting their shot. At some point, you're going to be like, hold on a second. She's in the studio with Denzel Washington. You know, at some point, I would think as a 9-to-5 man that has nothing to do, I would probably feel away.
I mean, it happens, and you will have fights over silly things, and you can tell that man all you want, and I did this, but I love you. You bring me support in other ways, and I'm okay with it, but he wasn't okay with it. And I bet you that guy that Ayanna's talking about would probably eventually start having issues with an Ebony Williams?
Ebony K. Williams.
Oh my God, I just had a brain fart.
No,
I
that
know her
happens
too.
to me.
A guy that feels like, you know, that is kind of stagnant in his career would definitely have an issue with an Ebony K. Williams. And he's gonna feel some way, and then
she's still outside. Ayanna could mess with a bus driver because that's the vibe she's giving. She inside. You get what I'm saying? I see Ebony K. Williams moving around, traveling, and with a 9-to-5 schedule, that's difficult. It's difficult for me. And I could still be remote or whatever the case. So I could only imagine somebody that has a bus route every day. Ebony K. Williams and a bus route, I just don't think it matches up. That don't match up for her. I wouldn't hook her up with if I was thinking about who can I hook up Ebony K. Williams with, I wouldn't be like, oh, my homeboy, that's a bus driver.
And what's wrong with wanting to be equally yoked with your partner on all levels, spiritually, sexually, physically, and financially? What's wrong with why? I think Black people especially, we got to get back to a place of valuing like the power couple, not just the man making all
like
this
the
money.
Cosbys, how it was a lawyer and a doctor.
Yes, not just the man making all this money and he just spends a bag on you. I think that's whack too.
Me too.
I like it when the woman got something going on and the man got something going on.
Both.
That is a sexy thing when y'all come together and you're like, how was your, oh, I did this, that, oh, I did this. That is dope, y'all. So please don't villainize someone who put all this work in for having the audacity of saying, I would date a bus driver if he owns the bus. Because that's basically what she said. Like,
that's
you're right.
it. She said she would date one child. So what are y'all mad at her for?
Leave Ebony K. Williams alone.
Please.
And now they're making it into a secondary argument. Well, it's the way she said it, and she's an elitist, and she's a snob. Ebony been speaking up for Black people for a long time, and then they want to attack her because her fiance found out she was engaged to a white man at one point.
Yeah, that traded billions. He was like a billionaire trader or something crazy.
Oh,
like that.
how could she? What's wrong with her?
Yeah, I was like, all y'all guys is all upset, and she not even looking at you. Her man was white.
Oh my God.
So y'all sit there.
But ain't like she only dates white though.
Oh, I don't know.
She doesn't.
Maybe she does.
She doesn't.
Oh, okay.
She with us.
She with us. I mean, I don't care. You know what I mean? When Black men get successful, they go and date white women.
Oh, but when a Black woman does it, she's a bed wench. She's a sellout.
She's Serena Williams.
There's a few. Eve.
They almost had me switch on over, but I could never.
I have no problem.
Colonizer.
I don't want that either. But if you fall in love with who you fall in love with, I'm fine with that. As long as you don't down your people in the process and say, I don't like Black men and I think white men are better. I can't rock with people like that. But if you just happen to fall in love with someone that happens to be from a different race, don't be mad at that.
Yeah.
But I definitely want a Black husband.
Me too. There's no way that I'm dating outside of my race ever.